Hello everyone, I am Sathiyakeerthika, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, A.D.M. College for Women, Autonomous, Nagapattinam. In this module, we are going to discuss about the topic in Unit 1 from Chemistry for Life Science for 2nd BSc Chemistry. And the topic is Bhopal Gas Tragedy. Now, we start the session. Do you know Bhopal Gas Tragedy? I think some know about this topic and some don't know about this topic. So don't worry about this. End of this session, you all know about Bhopal Gas Tragedy. Let's see some introduction about Bhopal Gas Tragedy. The Bhopal Gas Tragedy or Bhopal disaster was a chemical accident. Note the thing, it's a chemical accident. The most important thing, it's a chemical accident. In this accident, on the night of 2nd and 3rd December 1984, at the Union Carbide India Limited UCIL, the pesticide plant in Bhopal and placed in Madhya Pradesh, India. It considered as the world's worst industrial disaster. Over 5 lakh people in the small towns around the plant were exposed to the high toxic gas. This gas is named as methyl isocyanate. UCIL, it's a Union Carbide India Limited. So Union Carbide Company is Indian in pesticide manufacturing. This company started inspired by Bhopal to start the pesticide manufacturing. That pesticide called carbaryl and the brand name is Preven. The plant used toxic gas named methyl isocyanate. It is soluble in water but also reacts very aggressively with it. It contact with water causes methyl isocyanate, heat up the water to boil condition and vaporize easily. The heat causes the runaway to exothermic reaction. This reaction increases the methyl isocyanate reaction rate. So this methyl isocyanate reaction is rapidly increasing and also unstoppable. So it is colorless, highly flammable liquid that evaporated quickly when exposed to the air. So it has sharp and strong odor. It reacts exothermically with water to produce carbon dioxide, methylamine, dimethyl urea and trimethyl biurate. And then factors leading to the gas leak. Strong methyl isocyanate in large tanks and filling beyond recommended level. So, and then poor maintenance, failure of several systems and safety systems being switched off to save money, including the methyl isocyanate tank refrigeration system, which could have the disaster severity, and also the plant location close to densely populated area. So note that point, and also the plant location close to densely populated area, undersized safety devices also including in the plant. This dependence on manual operations. The devastation, the official immediate death toll was 2,259 and the government of Madhya Pradesh has confirmed a total of 3,787 deaths related to the gas related diseases. Another estimate 8,000 died within 2 weeks and another 8,000 or more died from gas related disease, and the 2006 started the leak caused 5,58,125 injuries, including the 38,478 temporarily partial and approximately and 3,900 severely and permanently disabled injuries, and 2,000 animals had to be disposed, and about 30 tons of methyl isocyanate escaped from the tanks, the atmosphere 45 to 60 minutes. This could increase the 40 tons within 2 hours. The gas were blown the southeast direction over Bhopal. The UCIL, that is Union Carbide India Limited, employee triggered the plant's alarm system at 12:50 am as the concentration of gas and around the plant became difficult to tolerate, and the activation of system triggered to siren alarms, one that specifically sounded inside the UCIL plant itself and second directed to be exterior, which would be alert the general public and city of Bhopal. Unfortunately, the two siren system had been decoupled from the one another so that was possible to leave the factory warning siren until the public one remained inactive. Short-term health effects. So, apart from methyl isocyanate, the dense gas may have contained oxygen, hydrogen cyanide, carbon monoxide, hydrogen chloride, oxide of nitrogen, monomethylamine, and carbon dioxide, either produced in the storage tank or the atmosphere. The initial effect of exposure were gagging, vomiting, and severe eye irritations, the feelings of suffocation. The acute symptoms were burning the respiratory tract and eyes, breathlessness, and stomach pains and vomiting. The causes of death were choking, reflexionation, circulatory collapse, and pulmonary edema. Findings during the autopsies revealed changes not only in the lungs but also cerebellar edema, tuberous neurotic, and the kidney and fatty degeneration of the liver and the neurotic enteritis. The still birth rate increased by up 30% and neonatal mortality rate in 200%. And the next one is long-term health effects. It is estimated 1 lakh to 2 lakh people have permanent injuries due to the Bhopal gas exposure. They are the permanent injuries are eye problems, respiratory difficulties, cardiac failures, secondary lung injury, and the immune and neurological disorders. And female reproductive systems and also difficulties due to birth defects among the children born to affect the woman. Aftermath of leakage, medical staff were unprepared for the thousands of casualties. Doctors and hospitals were not informed proper treatment method for methyl isocyanate gas inhalation. They were told to simply give drug medicine and eye drops to the patients. The gases immediately caused visible damage to the trees. Within a few days, all the levels fell off. And then health care. How to maintain health care in a gas inhalation patient. In the immediate aftermath to the disorder, the healthcare system became tremendously overloaded. Within weeks, the state governments established number of hospitals, clinics, and mobile units in the gas-affected area. Radical health groups set up JSK, the People Health Center, that was working in few years from 1985. The Government of India has focused primarily on increasing the hospital based on service from gas victims. Several hospitals have been built after the disaster. In 1994, there were approximately 1.25 beds per thousand compared to the recommendation from the World Bank of 1.0 beds per thousand in developing countries. The Bhopal Memorial Hospital and Research Center, that is BMHRC, is the 350 bedded super specialty hospital. And then heart surgery and hemodialysis are done to the gas inhaling patients. Major specialties missing are gynecology and pediatrics. Let's discuss about the environmental rehabilitation. When the factory was closed in 1985 to 1986 and the pipes, drums, tanks to be soldered, the methyl isocyanate, that is methyl isocyanate, and the 7 plants are still as storage tank in different residues. The area around the plant was used as a dumping area for hazardous chemicals. They ordered to provide safe drinking water to populations around UCC factory. There is a scheme for importance of water supply. In December 2008, the Madhya Pradesh High Court decided that is the toxic waste should be incinerated and Ankleshwar in Gujarat. In October 2011, the Institute of Environmental Management and Assessment published an article and video by the 2 British environmental scientists. So, and the 2 videos in related to the environmental scientists showing the current state of the plant and the landfill and solar evaporation pond and calling the renewable international effort to provide the necessary skill to clean up the site and contaminated groundwater. Let's see what are the economic rehabilitation. Rehabilitation due to the causes. An immediate relief was decided 2 days after tragedy. So, the relieving measure commended in 1985 when food was distributed for a short period and ration cards were distributed. Madhya Pradesh government finance department allocate rupees 874 million for victim relief in July 1985. So, widow pension of 200 per month. So, laterly increasing in 750 per month was provided. One time ex gratia payment of 1500 to families with monthly income rupees 500 or less was decided. Each claimant was to be categorized by the doctor. In court, the claimants were accepted to prove beyond the responsible doubt that death or injury in each case was attributed to exposure. From 1990, interim relief of rupees 200 was paid to everyone in the family who was born before the disaster. And finally, the compensation, including the interim relief for personal injuries, was for the majority of 25,000 for death claim. The average sum paid was 62,000. Effect of interim relief were more children sent to school and the money spent on treatment and food, housing and more housing improvements. In 2007, 1,29,517 cases were registered and decided. The number of awarded cases were 5,74,304 and the number of rejected cases 4,55,213 and the total compensation award was rupees 1,05,647 crores were allocated to the compensation awarded. On 24 June 2010, the Union Cabinet was Government of India approved as rupees 1,265 crores aid packages. It will be funded by Indian taxpayers through the government. Now, let's discuss about the occupational rehabilitation. 33 of the 50 planned worksheets for gas victims started, all excepted one was closed down by 1992 and 1986. The Madhya Pradesh government invested in the special industrial area in the Bhopal. 152 of planned 200 worksheets were built. In 2016 were partially functioning. It is estimated that 15,000 persons need alternative jobs and that less than 100 gas victims have found regular employment under the government scheme. Next, let's see the habitation rehabilitation. And 2,486 flats in 2 and 4 store buildings were constructed in the widows colony outside the Bhopal. The water did not reach the upper floors. It was not possible to keep cattle. Infrastructure like buses, schools, etc. were missing for the last decade. And the last topic is, let's see, health care. So how to care for health in Bhopal gas disaster? Patients, in the immediate aftermath of the disaster, the health care systems become tremendously overloaded. Within a week, so the state government established a number of hospitals, clinics and mobile units in the gas affected area. So that was very useful to the gas affected patients and also the surrounded area peoples. Radical health group set up JSK, the People Health Center, that was working few years from 1985. The government of India has focused primarily on increasing hospital-based service for gas victims. Several hospitals have built after the disaster. In 1994, there were approximately 1,000 beds and 1,000 beds for developing countries. The Bhopal Memorial Hospital and Research Center BMHRC is 350 bed super specialty hospital also started in this year. Heart surgery and hemodialysis are done. Major specialties missing are gynecology, obstetrics and pediatrics. And the conclusion, this gas is harmful to the environment and also the human health and also economic affected to the government. But even 35 years after the Bhopal gas tragedy, the world worst industrial disaster, still this methyl isocyanate gas is not banned from usage in industry. So that's true. We reached the end of today's session. I hope you all understand story behind the Bhopal gas tragedy and its aftermath. Let's meet in another interesting session with an interesting chemistry topic. Thank you.